Think history is just old news? Well, think again. What if the key to stronger leadership and deeper connections was actually hidden in the stories, the traditions, and the wisdom that came before us? Today, I'm digging into how honoring the past can power up your present, shape a smarter, stronger decisions for your future. Let's go back so we can go forward. Let's talk about lesson 69, value history and tradition. So, are you a history lover? Or are you somebody who can appreciate history at least? I remember growing up, I did not like my history classes. But as I got older and wiser, I began to treasure my history classes. But not only my history classes, but the living history that was before me, which is my grandma's and my grandfather's too, because I had my grandfathers for a long time. So I'm excited that I got to know my grandmothers. I got to write books with both of them. And then when they passed 5 days apart, I wrote this book. And I'm excited to still be in the lessons about my grandmas, 100 lessons that I learned from them. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Summer Owens, and I empower organizations and individuals to build more confident and resilient teams or become stronger leaders of their own lives. And I'm continuing the lessons from my grandmas, and now we're on lesson 69, which is value history and tradition. Are you somebody who can appreciate history? Let's talk about my grandmas and how not only did they live history, were history, but also helped me to value history and the traditions. Reflecting on the life stories of my grandmas, I appreciate the importance of valuing history and tradition in leadership. Their adherence to cherished traditions and respect for wisdom instilled in me the significance of honoring the past. By integrating historical context into my leadership style, I try to ensure a sense of continuity and connection. Embracing history and tradition not only creates a sense of identity, but also strengthens the foundation upon which I build my leadership journey. Respect for the past can guide current decisions and strategies, providing a well-rounded perspective. It helps maintain a continuity that can be comforting and inspiring to others. Additionally, valuing history and tradition can enrich the organizational culture, making it stronger and interconnected. So as I'm recording this, just 2 nights ago, I hosted the third annual Soulwood Awards and Scholarship Soiree. You can check out the video from second and the inaugural soiree, and that is an event where I honor history, people who are history makers, people who have created history and are creating new traditions and honoring people who have stories of resilience and giving back to the community. But I was so honored this particular awards program because I co-hosted it with Bertha Looney is one of the Memphis State Eight, and she's actually the last living member of the Memphis State Eight. And those are the 8 brave Black students who integrated the University of Memphis, which is my alma mater, which I've been really blessed to do a lot at the University of Memphis. And Bertha Looney co-hosted this awards program for me with me, and it was because of my honor, respect for her and the Memphis State Eight and the history and the legacy that they have created and the impact that they've made on the University of Memphis, my life, and the lives of so many other alums, not just Black alums, but the entire university actually. And so I value history. And as I mentioned before, I wrote books with both of my grandmothers because I understand the importance of knowing your history so that it can inform your decisions going forward, whether it's as you're leading a team or organization or just leading your family. So let's get into some of the tips from my grandmas on how you can live this lesson, value history and tradition, how you can live this lesson in your life right now. No, you can't have that. You can't do that. Have you ever heard that voice, maybe from someone else or deep down inside of you, saying, no, you can't? Ever felt like you weren't good enough, smart enough, or brave enough to have what you really want? You know, that promotion, that degree, that dream job, that house, that fulfilling relationship, that business, that life you've always imagined. Well, I'm confidence coach Summer Owens, and I'm here to tell you, yes, you can have it. And yes, you can do it. I'm the person to help you make it happen because I've been there. I faced doubts, fears, and setbacks head on. As a teen mom who was told my future was bleak, I chose to say, so what, to every obstacle I faced. I didn't let circumstances or self-doubt define me. I've probably done what you want to do. I've earned degrees. I've had dream jobs. I've launched business, written powerful books, bought houses. all while defying the odds. Now I want to help you to say so what to your fears and limitations too. I want to share my secrets to success with you in my Get the Guts to Go For It program. If you're tired of watching others live the life that you want and you're ready to turn your someday into today, let me help you embrace the so what mindset. Build your confidence and make your dreams a reality. Grab one of the limited spots for this program at getthegutstogoforit.com. I can't wait to help you go for it. Educate about the past. That's tip number one on how to live the lesson, value history and tradition. Now, educate about the past. Take the time to educate those that you lead, whether it's your team, or whether it's your family, about the past, traditions from the past, stories from the past, whether that's books, or whether that's bringing in speakers, whether it's other ways of videos or movies. Find ways to educate others about the past. We're moving forward, and actually, we're in a time in our country right now where the past isn't necessarily being honored and celebrated, and the diverse past of our country is not really being celebrated and honored. It's our job and our responsibility to educate people about the past so that you can live a better, more informed future, make better decisions based on understanding the past. So take the time to educate about the past. Celebrate milestones and anniversaries. That's tip number two on how to live the lesson to value history and tradition. Celebrate the milestones, celebrate the anniversaries. That's how we can remember and keep it fresh, the things that matter, the dates that matter, so that people can continue to understand what has happened and what should be celebrated, so that we can remember at the Soulwood Awards and scholarships. All right, that's something that is very important to me. Is not only celebrating anniversaries and milestones, but I created 4 scholarships in honor of people who were significant in my life, who played a role in the development of my So What success story and the So What Foundation. And so I created a scholarship, memorial scholarships, that will be given out every year, so that those people will never be forgotten, and their contributions to the So What Foundation and the world won't be forgotten. They will be celebrated every year. So find ways to celebrate anniversaries, milestones, and memorialize people and events and activities so that they are not forgotten. Preserve important artifacts and documents. That's tip number 3 on how to live the lesson, value history and tradition. So everybody who knows me knows that I love to take pictures. And I got that from my mom, and I got that from my grandmother. And I look back over all these years, and I'm so grateful for the pictures that I have taken, that they've taken, and others have taken. But there are also documents, and my grandmother and my mother, give them credit for that too, are the history keepers. They have letters and books and articles and newspaper clips of important history, pieces of history from our family, and just from the time period. So it's easier now than ever because so much is digital, but find ways to preserve important artifacts and history, and documents from history, so that you can preserve and value the history, your family history, and your community history. Incorporate traditions. That's tip number 4 on how to live the lesson, value history and tradition right now. So, what are some of the traditions that your family has, or maybe traditions within your organization? What are some of those things that you can continue to make sure you carry on within your family? And you know what? If your family doesn't have a lot of traditions, or if your organization doesn't have, create some. Create some. That was something that I took it upon myself to do, even in my family, was to incorporate a new tradition during the holidays, and that was for people to come to my house, spend the night in my house on Christmas Eve, and we do Christmas the next day. Now that sounds really, really simple, but that was something our family hadn't done. What are some traditions that you can make sure you carry on, or that you can create for your family or for your team? Encourage storytelling. Now, this is one of my favorites. So, as you know, I like to tell stories. I like to hear stories. I like to get stories. I have a whole podcast on YouTube called So What Success Stories, where I'm sharing other people's stories. So, encourage other people to share stories. Show interest, especially in the older members of your family or people who've been with your organization for a long time. Encourage them to share their stories, and I encourage you to record it. So even when I was writing these books with my grandmothers, I recorded them. I recorded them. So encourage people to share their stories, document their stories, and then you share their stories with other people. So is history important to you? Is tradition important to you? It is important. It is important to all families. It is important to all organizations, whether you value it or not. But the lesson that I learned from my grandmothers was we should value history. We should value tradition, and we should learn our history and learn traditions and create new traditions. So that's lesson 69. Value history and tradition. And as you know, because of my special relationship with my grandmothers, and not only my grandmothers, but all elders in my family, even elders who are not my blood family but have become family to me, I cherish their lives and what they've learned in their lives and what they've created in their lives and what they have shared with others. And that's why I wrote this book. And that's why I even created the curriculum that goes with this book. You can get the link to it below in the description, where it's all about restoring the respect for the wisdom of elders, because it is crucially important that we understand so that we don't lose the wisdom that our elders taught us. So tell me in the tips, or tell me which of the tips, tell me in the comments which of the tips you'll use so that you can value tradition and history, or show that you value tradition and history, and teach others that you lead the importance of valuing history and tradition. Tell me what you think. And if you like this video, like the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I have more lessons to come on confidence, resilience, leadership, and life. See you next time.